Howdy arty aliens and welcome. I am Paul Yateman. I draw stuff. For day 19 of my hashtag Tim Burton challenge, I am drawing a mutant cyborg girl in a Burton-esque style and incorporating some of my own elements such as a rocket. The drawing today is based on what we see on screen, which is some doodling I did yesterday while watching Frankenweenie. When I drew the girl's head, it wound up being rounder than my sketch. I would have liked to keep the same shape. Oh well, the final drawing turns out okay regardless. As I was doing my initial sketch today, I was wondering if I should draw normal limbs or do something crazy. I went crazy and drew long striped arms and gave the lower half of the body a rocket exhaust. That's something I used to apply to characters I created way back in the 1990s and figured today's girl could also be a cyborg. The arms I tested out in yesterday's sketch and were in part inspired by Mr. Whiskers in Frankenweenie when he mutates into a bat-cat hybrid. The tentacles came about as I could not be bothered spending the 5 minutes or so it may have taken to draw hands that did not look wonky. It wound up being way quicker to draw tentacles. This winds up making the girl look a bit like one of those plastic monkey toys, so to try and get away from that, I added a rat in one of the hands. I used a 0.5 fine liner to do the initial lines and thicken things up with the 0.8 to show shadows. Here the rocket exhaust is a lighting source, so I based most of my illumination on that. The plan was to make the girl's skin quite washed out and her clothes bright. That worked for the most part. I also reflected her purple hair in her t-shirt. Today I think the final drawing looks fairly flat. I spent a little effort indicating shadows and it shows. Before I got into the colouring, I was going to test things out on the original sketch. My Copic marker smudged the biro, so that was a short-lived experiment. I've seen a few sketchbook tours and presumably tutorials where Copics and biros are used. I'll need to revisit them to see if biro was applied last. At least with my Papermate profile that I am using here, it would definitely need to be applied last thanks to the smudging. Perhaps another brand would work better. Copics and biros equals sadness. To kick off the colouring, I shade the skin and technology in grey. I add more grey for some quick shading and then apply purple to the hair. Yellow is added next to areas that need it, and I do the same with orange. After colouring the rat and the dress, I add some skin tones to the girl. After colouring the t-shirt pink, I finish up the drawing with some additional quick shading in grey. So, what do you think? Is the colouring today crap? Have a go at your own Burton-esque style designs and tag me in the comments or on social media. Anywho, if you found this interesting, informative, entertaining, you were inspired to draw in your own sketchbook or journal, etc., subscribe, like and share. Until next time, you'll be watching Drawing Stuff with me, Paul Yateman. Ciao, take care, and happy drawing.